All right, gather round the hearth, everyone. It's another day in this new world. The sun's coming up, casting long shadows across the cobblestones, and the smell of fresh bread is in the air. That's me. I'm Thomas, the village baker. Or, I was. Now I'm the village baker, chief barricade consultant and resident expert on zombie-whacking utensils. Life used to be simple. Wake up before the rooster, mill the flour, knead the dough, fire up the old stone oven. The biggest worry I had was whether old man Hemlock would complain his pumpernickel was too dense again. Now? My biggest worry is whether a horde of shambling corpses will try to use my kneecaps as a chew toy. Funny how priorities shift, isn't it? When it all started. The sickness, the groaning, the biting, nobody knew what to make of it. The town crier called it a plague. The priest called it a divine punishment. I called it a bloody nuisance, especially when they started scratching at my shop door in the middle of a delicate sourdough proof. But a baker's got advantages, you see. First, this place. My bakery. It's old, built with stone thick enough to withstand a siege, let alone a few mindless biters. The windows are small, high up. The oak door, reinforced with iron bands. It was built to last, and now it's my fortress. Our fortress. A few of the other villagers made it here before we barred the door for good. Second, my tools. People think of swords and axes for fighting, and sure, the blacksmith's hammer is useful, but have you ever been on the wrong end of a baker's peel? That's the long, flat wooden paddle I use to get bread in and out of the oven. It's got reach. It's got a wide, flat end perfect for... pushing things away. Very forcefully. And my rolling pin? Don't even get me started. Solid oak. It can flatten more than just dough, believe me. It's surprisingly effective for close-quarters negotiations with the undead. And the oven. Oh, the great stone oven, the heart of my bakery, and now the heart of our survival. It provides warmth on these cold, fearful nights. It lets me bake bread, our daily reminder of normalcy, of life before, breaking bread together. It means more now than it ever has. It's our communion, our little act of defiance. We are still here. We are still human. We've got a system. During the day, we reinforce the barricades. We use old flour sacks, filled with sand and stones, to block the lower windows. We've rigged up a pulley system to get water from the well without going outside. I'm in charge of supplies. A baker always knows his inventory. Barrels of flour, sacks of rye, yeast, salt. We can last a long time. Turns out a well-stocked bakery is a pretty good place to ride out the end of the world. The flour is the most precious thing we have. It's more valuable than gold now. Every loaf I bake is measured, rationed. I've had to get creative, mixing in ground-up acorns, cattail roots, anything to make the flour last. The bread isn't as light as it used to be, but it's food. It's hot. It keeps us going. Every crumb is precious. At night, we take shifts on watch. Peering through the cracks in the shutters, listening. The sounds are the worst part. The constant, low groaning. The scraping of fingernails on stone. Sometimes, you hear a scream from somewhere else in the village. We don't talk about those. We just grip I grip my rolling pin a little tighter and say a silent prayer. We found little ways to keep our spirits up. A little girl, Elspeth, daughter of the weaver, she draws pictures on the flour-dusted floor. Pictures of the sun, of flowers, of life before. And we tell stories. About the village fate, about harvests, about silly arguments and happy memories. We remember what we're fighting to protect. It's not just our lives. It's the memory of the world we lost. The scariest moment, a few weeks back. A big one, used to be the butcher, I think, big as a bear. He managed to break through the outer planks on the door. The sound of that splintering wood. It was terrifying. We all grabbed what we could. I had my peel. The weaver had a heavy spindle. For a moment, we just stood there, frozen, as the inner door groaned under the assault. Then something in me snapped. This was my bakery, my home, and I wasn't going to let it fall. We all charged, screaming, and managed to ram a heavy workbench against the door just as it was about to give way. The butcher thing roared in frustration outside for hours, but it held. We held. That night, we learned something. We're not just survivors cowering in a shelter. We're a community, a strange, mismatched family of bakers and weavers and farmers, but a family nonetheless. We protect each other. Sometimes I stand by the cooling racks, the scent of bread filling the small space, and I wonder what the future holds. Will we ever be able to unbar this door and walk out into the sunlight without fear? Will I ever bake a loaf of bread just for the joy of it, not for survival? I don't know. But I do know this. As long as I have flour, as long as my oven burns, and as long as there are people here to feed, I will bake. Every loaf is a symbol. It says we endure. It says we have hope. And in a world filled with death, a little bit of warm, fresh bread is the most powerful weapon of all. It's a promise of a new dawn, even if we have to fight our way through the darkness to see it. Thanks for listening to my story. It helps to share it. If you enjoyed this glimpse into our unique situation, please consider liking and subscribing. It lets us know we're not alone out here. Stay safe, everyone, and appreciate the simple things. You never know when they'll be all you have left.